Welcome to the Doctor's Wig Show, where I show you how bad states of mind and difficult life issues aren't pathological, but rather signs of personal growth trying to happen. All right, let's get into it. Hey folks, Dr. Z here. Thank you for tuning in. I've got a new exercise for you, so grab some water if you need it, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Never do these exercises while you're driving, operating machinery, or doing anything that requires your attention. Now, each one of you is totally unique in how you process things, so at each step, turn the podcast on and off however you need. All right. We often get stuck in a problem and cycle around it for extended periods. Wouldn't it be great if you could untie the knot and begin to free yourself? Here's a way to do this. Think of a problem you feel stuck in. Is it a mood or state of mind you can't shake? A relationship conflict? An inner critic? A work issue? Whatever it is, put your awareness onto it and review your experience. Don't try to change anything. Just gently revisit whatever feelings and thoughts come up around the problem. If it's a particularly difficult issue, gently step back a bit and just observe yourself experiencing the problem. Watch your inner world for a moment. Just witness it. Now, ask yourself the following question. If I was totally free, a completely free spirit, able to be any way I want, what would I do in this situation? In order to explore this question, take some time to fully experience this free part of yourself. And make sure to focus on your inner freedom, not something external like money that you imagine will somehow magically make you into a free spirit. Money can give you a certain kind of practical freedom, but it won't help you truly transform yourself. It may make the manifestations of a problem seem to go away, but it won't help you change the underlying issues driving it. Oftentimes, the same type of problem returns later in another form because you haven't yet gotten the message. Start by visualizing yourself with no constraints whatsoever. Don't worry if your vision looks too far out, unrealistic, or impractical. Just imagine what you'd be like as a totally free individual. Would you be bold and fearless, spiritual and detached, quirky and antisocial, creative and dynamic? How would you look? How would you behave? How would you relate to people in the world? Spend some time enjoying your vision of this free you. Now, feel into your vision. Imagine feeling totally unconstrained and completely uninhibited to follow your deepest feelings. Amplify them by making them stronger, more intense, more all-encompassing. Feel them in your whole being. Now, feel into how your free self would move. Turn off the podcast and experiment with how you would walk, what kind of posture you would have, what kind of gestures you would make, what kind of energy you would have. Get up and move, walk, jump, dance, or just stand still like your free self would. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just trust your body's wisdom. Embody and express your experience physically. If you feel inhibited, do your best to muster up some courage and just try it a bit. Now, make your mind like your free self. What would your mind be like? Calm and centered? High energy and creative? Decisive? And what kinds of thoughts would you have? Think like your free self would. Now, put all these experiences together and totally become your free self. Integrate its attitude and energy. Be it. Take a minute to just enjoy it. All right, now let's apply your free self to your problem. How does your sense of freedom relate to the thing that's keeping you stuck? What new feeling and attitude and energy does it bring to the problem? What new enlightened, free part of your consciousness? And take a baby step towards solving the problem. Your outer life flows from your inner life. So begin by changing from within, even if you can't see the outer solution yet. This inner change will be the path to your liberation from the problem. Okay, here are some questions to help you complete your experience. Do you usually have access to this free part of yourself? If not, what stops you from being this way? Is it a fear? Or an inner critic? Or perhaps judgmental people in your life? Maybe it's a belief system you have. Try to identify what this is, and then dialogue with it from the perspective of your free self. How can you bring this free way of being into your inner life, your relationships, your work, and your spirituality? Do your heroes or heroines embody this free way of being? If so, this may be why you're attracted to them. Great work. You've just learned how to access your inner freedom and apply it to an issue that's been keeping you stuck. You did this by visualizing, feeling, and moving as your free self, applying this experience to your problem, and contemplating ways to implement this new way of being in your life. Take as much time as you need to absorb what you just experienced. If you feel like it, you can listen to some bonus material where I share some of my clients' experiences doing this exercise. That's up next. Here are some of my clients' experiences doing this exercise. A 20-year-old man who felt plagued by other people's opinions of him imagined himself as a free spirit who didn't care what other people thought. I helped him amplify this independence, and he had a lot of realizations. As soon as he detached from others' opinions, he was able to acknowledge his true feelings about who he did and didn't want to be friends with, how he wanted to behave in social situations, and even what kind of job he was attracted to. Then we worked on him integrating these revelations into his life. A 60-year-old overworked businessman imagined himself as a free-spirited human. We amplified his vision and feeling, and he discovered a new way of being in the world. He wasn't about to quit his high-paying job at a finance company, but he began living his life in a more fun, artistic way. He cut down on his work hours. He took up painting, went on family trips to wine vineyards, and developed a more relaxed attitude towards life. A 24-year-old woman who was afraid to stand up for herself in her relationships imagined herself as being totally weird, quirky, and able to do and say whatever she felt at any time. She imagined talking to people when she felt like it, and then stopping talking to them when she felt like it. If she got into a conflict with someone, she didn't act from fear, but rather from what she truly felt. I helped her amplify her imagination and feeling of what this would be like, and she had an incredible experience. For a while, we had to work on her fear of people thinking she's a crazy woman. But then she was able to start integrating it into her life and her relationships. See you next time. Stay aware. You can follow me on social media at Dr. Zwig, and you can sign up on the mailing list at drzwig.com, where you'll receive discounts on private coaching, events, and merchandise starting in 2021, weekly personal growth tips, and lots more. Be well.